Okay, in this video I'm going to give you a very detailed introduction of how to create new pages inside your site. If there is a specific question that you're wanting answered about creating new pages, take a look at the other videos in this section. There will be a lot of short videos also that talk about more of the specific items inside the creating a new page function. But for this video, as an introduction video, we're going to kind of cover all of the components that are involved in creating a new page. Okay, so the first thing is creating the new page. You're going to go under here and click Create a New Page. You can also do that under the View and Edit Existing Pages section up in the top right-hand corner. There is a link that you can click as well, but it's faster to just go up here and click Create a New Page. Okay, now on this screen you're going to create a title for your page. You're going to decide if it's going to appear as a submenu. If you want to create a link to an external website, you can do that here. And then these checkboxes, we'll run through those here in a second. Then you can also start creating a page from a template so that the content is pre-filled out and all you have to do is replace the images and the text, which makes things a lot faster. Plus these pages are pre-designed to respond to screen sizes, meaning they will reformat themselves automatically for mobile devices, so you don't have to figure out how to make the page do that on its own. We've already made sure that all of these templates do that automatically. And then you'll also want to enter a meta title and meta description, which we'll talk about here at the bottom. Okay, so let's start here at the top. First thing you want to do is give the page a title, and this will be something that people will see in the drop-down menus. So you want this title to be something that makes sense if somebody were to go under this menu and decide if they're going to click on one of those links. So let's call this, we'll just call this a new page. The SEO title, that is the, if you want to have a different title than this for the search engines to find, you can do that here. This is a great search engine optimization technique. If you want to call this a new page and maybe the city that you're in, that's a good idea. Having the title of the content of this page, maybe 2 or 3 keywords that relate to the content of the page along with the city, if that's appropriate. If you're a localized business, if you're a national business, then maybe leave the city name off of here. And then when you save this page, the sitemap that is generated for your site and then sent to the search engines will be using this as the URL for that page. Now the public will still see this as the title in the drop-down menus, but this will become the title that the search engines use when they're indexing your site. So it's a handy feature. Don't go crazy. You put too many keywords in here, the search engines will actually start degrading your site because they'll suspect that you're doing URL spamming, which is not a good idea, where you're filling these URLs with a bunch of keywords just to up your ranking in the search engines. They want to make sure you're making the content relevant. Okay, a description. This will appear underneath the title of the page. So if it's called Service A, right underneath that there would be some smaller text that would be that description. We'll go ahead and put something in here just so you can see what it looks like. And then this is the submenu selector. So you can have up to 4 levels inside your website of submenus. So if you want to put this page inside the Service A section, what will happen is it will be here, and then you'll go here, and then another menu will pop out over here to the right. So that's how you select where you want it to be. If you want it to be part of this main navigation bar, then just say no parent, and it tells you a page will appear in the main menu bar. Okay, and then an external link. This is if you decide you aren't actually going to create your own content. If this is a link that's going to go to some other website, like a blog or some other outside resource that you're linking to, enter that website here, like so, and that will take you to that other website. If I can spell here. and then you'll go ahead and want to decide whether or not you want that to open a new page, which is what this checkbox does. It allows you to tell the browser that if someone clicks this link, open a whole new tab or a new window in the browser, which will keep them from leaving your website. Okay, and then down here at the bottom, under the Layouts tab, you're going to want to check one of these boxes depending on what you're wanting to do with this page. Right here in the Do Not Display the Page in the drop-down menus, if you want to create the page but you don't want it to appear in these menus, that's how you can keep that from happening. If you check this box, this will actually make it so that the user can't click on the page, and we strongly recommend doing this if you're going to have submenus. One of the problems that will happen if you have submenus, if you can imagine with this menu here on tablets, when users try to touch that button right there, it will go to a page and they will never have a chance to click on any of these submenus. So very important to think about that when you're doing this. So if you plan on having subsections inside this new page, then do not create content for this page. Make it a non-clickable page name so that people on tablet devices will be able to access the submenus. Okay, and then hiding it from hiding the banner on this page, so the graphical banner that's up here at the top, if you want that to not be displayed for this particular page, you can check that box. Same goes for the left and right content areas, which you have under some of the pages in your site. That left and right column, you can turn that off on a page-by-page basis. And then the last item here is to show this link in the footer. So down here in the bottom of your website, you have an Explore section that has some pages that are quick links for your users so that they can quickly get to things that are very popular. And so what you'll do is go here and check that box. That'll make this page appear as a link down there at the bottom of your site. Okay, and then the desktop and mobile option. What this does is it allows you to create pages that are specifically designed for a desktop screen, and then a different version of that page specifically designed for a mobile browser. And 90% of the time this is unnecessary. We've designed our system so that pages will reformat themselves automatically based on the type of device that a user is looking at your website on. However, there are times when that just isn't possible. For example, if you have a table inside of a page, sometimes it is just impossible to reformat a table in a logical way that looks right on a mobile device. So in those cases, you may want to either tell this page you want it to only be used as a desktop page, and then you can create a mobile version that's different. You also can choose to have this a desktop only option, and on a mobile device have a message that appears for users saying this is better viewed on a desktop version of our website. And what will happen is when they click on this link in your website on a mobile device, it will present them with a link to click on to view it in the full website view rather than the mobile view. Okay, so the best suggestion is if you're having a page that needs to be formatted a specific way for a desktop, just create a desktop only version and then create a mobile version for a mobile device users that are viewing that page. You can also make that determination on the content block level. So when you go to create the content for the page itself, you can also choose separate pieces of content that will appear based on the device that the user is on. Okay, again, with all of these items, this is an introduction to this section, so we're going into a lot more detail than normal. If you want just specific instructions on this function or this function, there are videos that are short and give you more examples on that specific function. Okay, and then the last thing here is security. You have the ability to require login access to some pages in your website. Now, if, for example, right here we're saying that this page would be only viewable by employees, and where you manage this list and the people that have access through it is under the website security area. So here's where you can create users, and here's where you create these groups that are allowed to view that page if they have the correct login credentials. Okay, so again, there's another video that talks all about setting up page security. Go take a look at that if you want some details on how that works. Okay, so next section in here is content. In here we've created a bunch of content blocks that are pre-designed for you so that you don't have to start from scratch. When you're creating a new page, you can go right in here and say, I want to create a page like this with text wrapping around a couple of images or one image, or you want to have some columns in your page right out of the gate that you want to then go in and edit. Down here we have some other styles with some call to action buttons right inside the pages. So you can go ahead and click on any of these and choose one. So for this example, let's go ahead and we'll choose this option. Okay, so it highlights itself once we click on it. And then this checkbox right here is kind of important. If you're adding a whole bunch of pages at once, you may want to uncheck this. Go ahead and just create all the pages, but don't actually start editing them at this point. If this is a one-page moment here where you're just adding one new page to the site, just leave that checked. When you're done and you hit this Save My New Page button down here, what will happen is it'll automatically take you straight to the page and let you start editing it right now, so you don't have to click through a bunch of sections to get to it. Okay, now this meta title and meta description. The search engines are not using this information any longer to actually decide where your website is going to be placed. However, this information is used in the display of a Google listing. So, for example, let's search restaurants in Portland. Okay, now what you'll notice when you come in here is right here we have a title and then we have a description. Okay, and every listing has that same thing. They have a title and then they have a description. Now you'll notice this description here is being cut off and this title is also being cut off. And that happens when they're too long. So what we've done is we've told you how many characters Google will allow. And so as you start typing your title, that will start counting down for you so you know how much space you have left before Google will start truncating. Now if you want to make it longer, you're more than welcome. Just be aware that Google is going to cut that off and the user is not going to see the full title anyways. Okay, so again, the search engines aren't using that for indexing. If you look that up in Google, they've got all kinds of videos and tutorials talking about all of this. Google has stopped indexing keywords, meta tags, meta titles, and meta descriptions in the search engine page ranking results. So don't try to cram these full of keywords thinking that's going to make a difference, because that won't change anything. All this is for is so when the user gets to Google or to Bing and they are looking at all the results, you want to make sure this description is enticing to them to draw them in so that they'll want to click on your listing. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to leave these blank. Let's go ahead and click the button to create this page. Now what's going to happen is the page is going to be created. Again, we set it to be hidden. So the page is here and we're seeing it right now because we are signed in. If we sign out, this page will not be visible because we told it not to display itself. Okay, so the page created itself. Here's the predefined content that we selected with the images on top and the columns. The content editor, there are lots of videos that talk about all the features inside of this, so go take a look at those. But that's all there is to creating a new page inside your site. Okay, so the last step in this process is to replace the images, replace the content, and then go ahead and save and preview this information. When you do that, what's going to happen is it's going to ask you if you'd like to post this content live. So right at the top of every content block that you create, there will be these links that say you want to undo the changes, you want to continue editing, or do you want to post them live. At any point in time, you can post it live. Until you post it live, the public will not see what you're seeing. They will see an unedited version of this content. Okay, so that's all there is to creating a new page.